Hello everyone and welcome to another movie review video. I'm not a big fan of bugs, especially roaches, so I thought let's take a look at a horror movie about roaches, The Nest, from 1987. There are some movies that I keep in my back pocket because I know it's something I want to make a video on, and this is one of those movies. The Nest is about a small town that winds up with a roach problem. But these aren't just any roaches. These suckers are hard to put down, and boy oh boy do they like to eat. I went into this movie hoping for at least one or two cool moments, but I ended up really enjoying this thing. It gave me everything I wanted out of an 80s creature feature. We have a small town with a decent amount of characters, our main characters are likable, and towards the end we get some cool creature designs. Also, it's under 90 minutes, and it wraps up everything nicely by the end. Does it have issues? Sure. There were a few characters I wish we saw a touch more of, one in particular, because they sort of set her up to be a big deal, but you only see her for like 5 minutes the whole movie. Then there's the poster, which shows a woman being attacked by a huge roach, and yeah, some old school movie posters are misleading, but I was expecting some more mutated cockroach action. We sort of get that, but it's really tame until the final act. Honestly, it's just minor complaints. The movie rocked, and it made me want to watch other silly creature movies like it. But I'm not going to waste any more time. Get your roach traps ready, and let's take a closer look at The Nest. We're in the little town of Northport. Our main character Richard wakes up, and we get our first roach of the movie because one's in his coffee.
No, a surprise.
Ew, he drank it! He's on the phone with a woman named Millie who's giving him his sheriff duties for the day. Then we get a quick little introduction to Homer, the town's exterminator. This is where the small town vibes come into play because we have a little seafood joint, and I just love the look of this restaurant and most of our characters all grouped up in this one spot. Everyone's friendly, they all know each other. I just love stuff like that. Here's where we meet Lillian, who I assumed was going to be our main love interest, but that ends up not being the case. Oh hey look, another roach! Richard picks up a woman named Beth who just landed at the airport. She's back in town for the first time in 4 years after moving to the city. Now let's go see what this town's mayor's up to. A dude named Cy is in his office and he was promised a loan from a company called Intech. The mayor doesn't have time for his whining and tells him to piss off. Turns out Beth is the mayor's daughter. He doesn't look too thrilled to see her.
Well, you're what I wanted for my birthday.
Ah, okay, never mind. We check back up with Richard and he's at a lighthouse because a boy was reported missing around that area. He hears a loud buzzing noise and then gets spooked by Shaky Jake. He's the town's kooky old guy, and we saw him for a little bit at the start of the movie. We have another relationship revealed because Lillian, the girl that Richard was smooching earlier, is Shaky Jake's daughter. Now a little bit of info before we go on. Our two main characters, Richard and Beth, have something in common. They both have a dead parent. Richard's dad was the previous sheriff, and the badge got handed down to him. And as for Beth, her mother died, and it seems like that's caused some issues between her and her dad. Beth is going out for a walk and comes across a dog. The dog says, "Get off my lawn," so she heads on over to, oh my, property of Intech. While she's snooping around, the poor dog is our first one to go in this movie. Beth hears the dog crying, but when she returns, it's too late. Damn, poor thing's been torn into. Richard shows up and does a little poking around, but later that day when he talks to the mayor, he says it's Intech's land, so just stay out of it. A while ago, he made a deal with Intech to build some condos and give Northport a little bit of an upgrade. We overhear a phone call between him and someone from Intech, and it seems like there might be something shady going on. Richard and Beth are talking outside, and it's clear that they know each other, but there's also some history between them. He's upset because when she left 4 years ago, she didn't say why. We cut to Shaky Jake, who's trying to hunt a rat with a rifle, but somehow, someway, that rat's been cut in half. He notices something off camera, and it starts going towards him. He hides under the covers, but whatever it is gets to him, and chews his arm off. Let's get those happy small town vibes up and running again, shall we? Richard's back at the restaurant, and because Beth is back in town, Lillian is being a bit sour towards him.
Denver omelet. Yesterday.
Alright, maybe not so happy vibes. A shipment from Intech is delivered to the mayor along with Dr. Hubbard, who the mayor thinks should take over the whole dog situation. Richard tells Millie to do a little digging on Dr. Hubbard while he goes to investigate an incident at a meat market. Apparently a wire was chewed through, and the meats have these little pellets on them. Looks a little familiar. Dr. Hubbard and the mayor are out where the dog was eaten, and they set up a trap using a kitty. Oh, come on. The bugs rush into the box with the cat in it, and Hubbard locks them inside. They take the cat and the roaches back to the lighthouse, and she's quite amused with these little guys. She puts her hand in the box, and they actually start biting her hand through the glove. The mayor says just kill them already, but the chemicals used to kill these roaches are lethal for humans. He wants to have people evacuate, but Dr. Hubbard says to give her 24 hours to come up with something. We see Homer the exterminator again.
I keep telling you, I'm not an exterminator. I'm a pest control agent.
Oh, okay, sorry. Pest Control Agent Homer is at the restaurant trying to get rid of some bugs, and uh-oh, Lillian and Beth are now face to face. She says that Richard is flirting with her now, so watch it. Beth decides to do some digging in her basement, and oop, there goes another roach. But also, she finds some plans for the Intech deal. She heads back up to their land, and she finds some bloody bones. She then heads off to a blocked-off cave where she and Richard used to hang out. Oh, so that's why she keeps heading over there. Got some bad news for you, Lillian. Speaking of Richard, he shows those pellets he keeps finding to Homer, and he says that they're cockroach droppings. That's not the only thing he learns. Millie reports back about Dr. Hubbard. She tells him that Dr. Hubbard was kicked out of MIT for doing illegal experiments. Unfortunately, the mayor and Dr. Hubbard were listening to their conversation over the radio. Anyways, back in the Cave of Memories, Beth has some company. She runs away from the roaches but bumps into some dingly sacks. She's able to escape before the swarm of roaches get to her. Our characters regroup at the mayor's house, and Richard and Beth want to tell everyone what's going on. The mayor says just stay out of those damn caves, but Sheriff Richard hands him his badge and walks off with Beth. Lillian and Chef Church are closing up the restaurant for the night, and while Church is stomping down some garbage, some dumpster roaches start munching on his arm, and they eat him where he stands. Well, that was a nice little break. It's now time for some more info on Beth's dead mother. After her mom's funeral, she went up to her dad's room and found her mother's suicide note. Her dad told everyone that it was an accidental overdose, but he's just a big fat liar. So because of his history, Beth knows that her dad is for sure doing some shady shit. She tells Richard that she missed him, and they start kissing. Damn, poor Lillian. It's finally time to check up on Shaky Jake. Looks like Homer's the lucky one who finds Jake's face covered in roaches. He does the smart thing and gets the hell out of there. The mayor's doing what he does best, making phone calls, trying to get this thing under control before it reaches the mainland. But when we check back up with Richard and Beth, looks like they were doing a lot more than just kissing. She's trying to convince him to go back to LA with her, but he'll have to get back to you on that, cause y'all have a very serious roach problem. You'd have to pay me Robert Downey Jr. levels of money to get me anywhere near that set. Hell no. Oh hey, a character we met once over a half hour ago. Dropping food in a movie about killer roaches? Yeah, it's over. Oh, and she's feeding the carpet meat to her aunt? And she's rubbing her feet together with that juice on them? She heads to the bathroom to, play with her hair, I guess? And her poor aunt is getting attacked by roaches. They crawl inside of her cast, and eventually, her mouth. Her niece can't hear her screams because her only character trait is wearing headphones, playing loud music. Dr. Hubbard is studying her captured friends, and one roach is more advanced after being sprayed with the chemicals, and the little eggs hatched even with those lethal chemicals.
You're a man.
Well, shit. The mayor's trying to get some people out to Northport to spray some stuff, but if he can't manage to evacuate people in time, he'll give a signal with the lighthouse's light. Richard is out on the beach, and they've found that missing boy's body, along with another person's body. A guy named Mr. Perkins is driving off with the bodies, but some roaches have hitched a ride as well. They start crawling on poor Mr. Perkins, and he drives his truck off a bridge, and it explodes. The roaches have now reached Lillian, but she's not going down without a fight. She's using everything in that kitchen to fight those little fuckers off. The mayor radios in to tell Hubbard that she's done and that they're gonna spray the island in the morning. She informs him that the chemicals won't kill them, and when the eggs hatch, it'll spawn roaches that are unkillable. So he tells her to light the lighthouse light. Lighty light light light. Oh hey, Homer is actually planning on fighting back against the roaches. He spills some flammable liquid and then drops his cigarette. Well, okay, I guess he's not gonna be any help. Richard goes to the station, and we're finally gonna get our Millie reveal. Aw, man. Well, next stop is Lillian, and she locked herself in the freezer and froze to death. Wow. With the fight that she was putting up, I honestly thought she was gonna make it. Whoa, wait, Homer's still alive?
It blew up my house.
Okay, well, I hate to defend the roaches, but that was all you. Dr. Hubbard reports back that something is not working at the lighthouse. Richard and Homer show up and they demand answers. The plan with these roaches were to create roaches that would eat other roaches, then die. But of course, that's not what's happening. Homer figures out that there's a queen roach, and where there's a queen, there's a nest. Homer gives me Dale from King of the Hill vibes, and I absolutely love it. Beth is back at her dad's house, and she's absolutely laying into him, saying that he's doing to Northport what he did to her mother. Damn. The roaches are in the house, and they try to attack Beth, and the mayor, but they can use a fire extinguisher to freeze the roaches. They're having trouble closing the bathroom door, so the mayor runs in there and locks himself in, telling his daughter to save herself. While all that's been going on, Richard and Homer have been trying to get the lighthouse working, but then they hear glass breaking downstairs. But it wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin. We now have a cockroach-cat hybrid. Whatever the roaches eat, they become. Sort of. The cat roach attacks Richard, and after some hesitation, Hubbard saves him. She doesn't want to kill it, but when Homer comes down with a gun, he accidentally knocks something over, and it squashes the cat roach. They also manage to get the lighthouse working. Richard gets into contact with Beth to see if she's safe. It seems like it at first, but then her dad walks in behind her. After a bloody hug, her dad's skin starts slipping off, and he transforms into a human cockroach hybrid. Practical effects! Yippee! She grabs her dad's shotgun and puts Papa Roach down with a shot to the head. Oh hey, Richard's here. Dr. Hubbard wants Beth to show her where the nest is because she's seen it before, but Richard just wants to fix the lighthouse because oops, it's out again. Dr. Hubbard says have fun with that, and she drives off with Beth. They make it to the cave, and while Dr. Hubbard wanders off deeper into the nest, Beth finds some explosives. Richard rushes to the cave to find Beth after he sends Homer to go fix the lighthouse. Dr. Hubbard is fully in the nest and she's grabbing some samples, and that's when the Queen shows up. The super tall human roach hybrid grabs a hold of Dr. Hubbard and rips her arm off. Oh my god. Then the Queen finishes her off by biting into her head. Richard shows up just in time to grab Beth before the explosives go off. And with 1 minute to spare, Homer gets the lighthouse working. The movie ends with Richard and Beth hugging, and then we get a close-up of the real star of the show, a cockroach. And there you have it. I saw The Nest on Tubi months ago, and I saved it because I knew I was going to make a video on it one day. This movie had a bit of everything I love about 80s horror movies. A little on the goofy side, enjoyable main characters, a fun small town setting, and some sick creatures and practical effects. If this video does well, maybe I'll check out some other creature features from the 80s for future videos. Make sure you leave your thoughts about The Nest in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.